sit back, relax, we got the brain of band. No need to stress in the house, it's Van Bellen. The game is windsurfing, you can't yell them or tell them. We get the news, the views, the win biz. The brand's gear, just plus the world's best quiz. Carbs, PWA. We're professionals without the pay. There's nothing in pole dancing that we won't chat. From tandem boards to a windsurfing cat. It's your one-stop shop for a laugh and listen. Tune in each week or you'll be doing the missing.
All right, straight into it.
Straight in. Maui Pro.
Let's go.
Maui Pro is on. Welcome back, people. We are all going to be talking about predictions. Who is going to win the Quattro Maui Pro? Because Quattro is sponsored this year. And we are kicking off with JC from Windsurf Magazine. So JC, the legendary John Carter, he has made some absolutely epic predictions in the past. I am not joking. This guy is on the beach taking pictures of the guys, speaking to everyone. So he is actually like one of the probably most knowledgeable and has seen it through the years. So we're going to look at his predictions. They're on his website at the moment, windsurf.co.uk. You can check them out, but we're going to read through them. Paul, let's have a look. Who's he got? So we've got men, women. We haven't gone with the masters and the juniors, although they are all part of this Maui Pro. I want to hear you guys make some predictions in the comments. We're going to be talking about this throughout the show. Me and Paul are going to make some predictions towards the end when we've surveyed all the knowledge. I've spoke to Graham Ezzy. I've had the lowdown of what's been happening in Maui. A little bit of intel there, which is quite interesting. There's going to be a 3-day window for competition. 3 days, that's all. And there's a 5-day window, but they can only compete for 3 days. And they've got the juniors, the masters, the pro women, pro men. And the forecast is not great. We're going to come on to all those things, but let's have a look at the predictions straight away, I think.
So you've got Graham Ezzy's knowledge. That's insider knowledge. So
hey, mate, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do.
And also, please, everybody, write your predictions in the comments on the YouTube channel, because at the end of the event, we'd like to go through it and see who was the closest. So anyway, JC in the men's. Let's have a look what we got. He's got, well, as number one, he's got Bernd Roediger.
Bernd Roediger. Solid.
Yeah. No,
it's a solid. What's his reasoning there? Has he got a bit of reasoning behind that?
Well, I can read it. The way that was ripping at the Aloha Classic last year was frankly borderline ridiculous. He came within a whisker of taking the win and looked dangerous in every single heat with his super fluid top-to-bottom style and seamless tricks. We're backing him to go all the way unless the judges suddenly decide they want a jump thrown in. Judging by the forecast, they just might. Having said that, the wind is up and down like a yo-yo in the forecast. Actually, that is... good question. The forecast. What is the forecast?
So, with my intel from Mr. Graham Ezzy. So it has been terrible by Maui standards the last month. He said it's been like years worth of rain in a month. They haven't had the normal trade winds. If you saw Send It Sunday this week, or you're following Morgan Nero, you would have seen they've had Kona winds. So they had a couple of Kona days, which have not been very easy to predict, but a few of the boys have been out there. Morgan, obviously, Nero, one of them. So that shows he's keen. I will come more on to that in a minute. But they haven't had, like, I was kind of messaging Graham to say, okay, give me the intel, who's sailing good, who's on fire, how you sailing, how's, he's got some new boards, how you settling in. And he's like, dude, I haven't sailed. I've hardly sailed at all. They've hardly had anything. So also the picture that is on the thumbnail of this show is actually from the south side, it looks like. I know there's another spot which I've sailed over the other side, and these are from Simon Crowther. I was looking through his pictures because he's in Maui at the moment, and they're from the other side. So they really haven't sailed Hookeeper hardly at all. So this, I think, my take on this will suit. Well, actually, I'm about to change my mind. I was about to say this will suit the locals that are so used to the conditions, but actually maybe it also suits the guys that are just coming in, because now no one's had that unfair advantage where they've been sailing for a month or 2 months, getting dialed in, getting their sort of game on. Whereas usually like that would happen for the Aloha Classic at the end of the year. You know, the tour regulars will be in silt. There's no wind. They're not sailing. And Levi and all the top local riders are all in Maui kind of warming up, Bernd Rodiger. Whereas this year, this is different because it's at the beginning of the year. So those tour regulars are not on tour. They're actually in Maui. So this is a good comp where they actually can go early. They can warm up and there's been no wind. So again, we just have to look at that information and we'll take that how it is. I'm not sure. Yeah. Graham himself, he said, look, I know how to sail who's cheaper. You know, am I dialed in? Well, no, because we haven't been sailing that much, but no one is. So then who does it suit? Does it suit the guys that can adapt to anything? Thomas Traversa, he's a guy that does that. Or does it suit the guys that just know how to sail, who keep it anyway? You know, Brasinho, does he need a month warm up? Probably not. He knows exactly how to sail it. Bernd Rodiger knows exactly how to sail it. But that kind of goes for the tour pros as well. You know, most of them have sailed so much keeper. They know how it is. It probably won't suit the guys that, you know, it's not their favorite place or they haven't spent as much time there and they like that kind of nice couple of week warm up. So yeah, the forecast, as Graham told me as well, he said yesterday they could have started it, but the forecast was a bit more onshore and it was big. So they were worried it would chew up too much time. Like I said, it's a 5-day window. They've got 3 days where they can compete. They can't compete more than that. And they've got a lot of people to get through. I don't know how they're going to do it. Like we'll come on to the draw in a minute, but in the early rounds of the draw, there's like 6 or 7 people in a heat in the qualifying round. So it's really quite busy. Okay. So that's the forecast. I mean, looking at it, like I said, there's a 5-day window and they can only do 3 days. Looking at that forecast, 3 days is all they're going to get anyway. You know what I mean? It's not a great forecast, is it?
Yeah, it's deteriorating. So
zoom in a bit on those first days. That's the days that we're gonna. Yeah, so they're the days we're gonna be looking at. And he said, Graham was saying, the more north it is, the more onshore it is. The more it goes to the east, it obviously goes a little bit more, you know, offshore. But he also said the way the forecast has been, they've been terrible at getting it right because it just hasn't been normal. There's no real patterns. Yeah.
I mean, at 1.910 seconds, what sort of size are we looking at there? You reckon?
It's pretty big. I think that's pretty juicy at the moment. That 2 point whatever and 11 seconds. Again, I'm a bit out of sync with Maui, but usually when you've got any sort of period like that 11 seconds is probably quite chunky. It's very rarely below mast high when there's a swell at 2 keeper. So, you know, it's only really smaller than that.
Yeah. You know, so basically looking at the forecast, it's starting at the biggest, the second day slightly smaller, and then the third day a little bit smaller. So it is a declining swell. So I guess also you've got to remember in Maui, they cannot start before 11. And Graham also kind of alluded to the point that back in the day, they were starting early, you know, 9 o'clock. They were able to get around this kind of 11 o'clock rule. But now they can only start 11. And then usually the wind drops off by 5 or something like that. So it's actually quite a small window for 3 days to fit everyone in. I mean, this will be the real test. The guys in the Masters and the Juniors, are they actually going to get to sail? Because it's quite an interesting... There's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, there's heaps of sailors. There's like 100 sailors or something that have entered or close to it.
And you tried doing that in 3 days in Pozo, which is difficult anyway. But in Maui, you know, maybe this time of year in Maui, they can end up with it more cross shore. So there does end up with jumps, which will come in to the predictions. Someone asked me yesterday, Ben, what's your prediction? I was like, well, it really depends if there's jumping or not. If there's jumping, I have different people that will definitely be there. I think when there's jumping involved, it's much easier to pick a top 3 than when jumping isn't involved. When it's not involved, I think it's a bit more wide open.
Yeah. No, okay. Well, back to JC's predictions for the men. So in second, he's got Mark Perret, which again, solid. You're not going to argue with that one.
Reigning world champion, not a Maui local, but when we've listened to a couple of the local guys talking about Paré, I mean, Kai Lenny was one of them, saying he has been the most improved. You know, looking around the beaches the last years, he has been the guy that has moved up the levels, and obviously that is why he's world champion. But we have to say he's never had a decent result in Maui apart from last year's Maui Pro, which had jumping involved. So he came second, if I'm not mistaken, last year in the Maui Pro, with Brasilio winning, and that was a windy Maui event. Usually the lower classics at the end of the year, it's usually float and ride. There's no jumping. The Maui Pro, the beginning of the year, like now, usually has jumping.
Yeah. Mark Prain's second, third, Marsilio Brown.
Hang on.
I haven't finished.
What does JC say about Paré?
Okay. All right. Well, I'll read it out. Mark was unlucky not to make the final last year, and what we have seen of him so far this year, he is absolutely on fire. Paré been kind of low profile in the build-up to the event, but it looks like he is just letting his sailing do the talking this season rather than blabber about it on social media. Ooh. He is sure to have his gear tuned and will be fired up to kick off the season with a bang. Mark is strong in big waves, small waves, and if jumps are included, he is sure to bang out a double loop or a push forward. This is a sailor ready for anything, and his world title last year was certainly no fluke.
There we go. It's interesting. It's good. It's good to hear those little takes. Like I say, if you are just joining us, we're just going through windsurf.co.uk. JC, John Carter, photographer, and all-round legend, is just gone his predictions on the website. So we're going through the predictions. Then we're going to do mine and Paul's later on in the show. And then you guys will get the chance to give us your predictions. There is a cap and a T-shirt available for prizes if we think anyone deserves it.
I've got an idea here as well, Benny. I haven't thought this through, so tell me if this is a bad idea. But if everyone wants to join our little private comp here, write your predictions for the men. We'll just do the pro men and the women, right? Because otherwise there's too many divisions. So are we doing top 4 because there's 4 in the final, or top 3? What do you reckon?
I think top 3. You're trying to get 3 guys in that final. I think that's quite a good one. Gives you a little wiggle room. Okay.
Although, you know what? This is what we're going to do. Sorry, I've just thought about it. You predict who the 4 people you reckon are going to be in the final, right? So just from 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually going to write down JC's, Benny's, myself's, and Sarah Keats' prediction because she's also in this article. Okay. And what we'll do is, this is how it will work for everyone. Well, you know, for us anyway. You get a point, right? Because I'm just thinking how we can work out who gets the closest, you know. Okay. If you put a name in, so say for example you put Bant Roediger in your prediction, and he comes anywhere from 1st to 4th, it doesn't really matter. As long as he's made the final, you get a point for that because he's listed in there. Yep. If you get the name in the right position, that's another point. Okay. And then I'll just tally up the points, and we'll see who gets the best result in the men and the women. Yeah.
I think if you get it exactly right, you should probably get more than.
Well, you can put an extra 2 points, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But you just get an extra point for getting an extra.
What about if you get the winner? The winner's quite a good one.
Well, 5 points. I mean, if you get the winner right, an extra 5 points.
Yeah,
is it?
I think so because
that's a lot, isn't it? 5 is a lot.
Yeah, but you want that guy to win.
Okay. So 5. Okay.
If you get the winners right, I think that guy deserves to win. So they'd have to be well off otherwise.
Okay, so it's a 1 point if you get the name in right, another point if you get in the right position, and 5 points to the winner.
Yeah,
is that what we're doing? Okay,
I think so.
Okay, no worries, mate. All right, so back to the article. So number 3, JC, is Marsilio Brown. He says last year's winner returns, but with an upgrade to a 5-star event. The target on his back just got a lot bigger. Marsilio is one of the best free sailers at Hoho Keeper, effortless, stylish, and ridiculously consistent. The only question is whether that same freedom translates under contest pressure. Either way, with his trademark power turns, goiters, and wave 360s, leaving him out would be brave and probably foolish.
Well, like it.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying these predictions. I'm liking them.
I mean, it's going to be very hard for us to deviate from a lot of these predictions because he's basically just throwing down 3 heavy hitters straight up.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be more that, we're going to hear the same names. Let's be honest. We're going to hear very similar names with a few extras put in, but it's going to be where you put them in that top 4 because, and this is the hard thing with predictions. Look, we know probably most of these guys could win, but on any given day, any of them can win and any of them can mess up. So, predictions is not about who we think is the best. It's who we think is going to come out on top at this event. And sometimes we have to gamble by saying, maybe we think he's going to mess up. Even if we think he's a better sailor, we might think, oh, it's just not his time. So that's the cool thing with predictions. It's very hard to get them right.
Well, and the other thing it's hard is I haven't seen any of these sailors in the flesh for ages, so it's very hard for me to know what their form is, what's going on, are they injured? No idea, actually.
Yeah, good point.
So that makes it hard. And then, so the wild card, so we'll put this as the 4th place for JC, is Morgan Rowe.
Morgan Rowe, good, solid.
Yeah. Morgan won the Aloha Classic 2025 and is rarely out of the top 4 in Maui. He also makes the job look too easy with the smooth, silky way he performs in Maui. He's another sailor who is very tough to beat, and we would not be surprised to see him take the victory at the Maui Pro-Am. He's been on Maui most of the winter, and from what we have seen in the videos, he is totally on fire and ready for battle. His wave 3s are amongst the best in the business, and don't be surprised if he does not back one up with a goiter. Maybe we should have him down for the event win. Only time will tell. It's actually interesting that he's put him as the wild card and not in one of the top 3, but...
well, again, there's only so many spots in there.
I know, but he won the last one, and
I'm a big Morgan Rowe fan. I've usually got him in my final 4. Like, I think those 4 picks, Burnt, Mark, Brow, and Morgan Rowe, are really solid. That's a good 4. But the thing is, on any given final with those 4 in it, to predict the order is pretty hard. So even if you know those 4 are in the final, to predict the order, it can be literally you just throw them, pick them out of a hat, and that could be the order. There's no, it really is tricky. So I think it's not going to be easy. This.
No, he goes on to say, don't count out Kai Lenny, Antoine Martin, Robbie Swift, Kuma Sugi, Thomas Traverser, and Levi Siver.
He's covering his ass there, isn't he? Everybody.
There's no Graham Ezzy in there. Oh, God. Okay. I'm definitely putting Graham Ezzy in my one. Don't worry. All right, Sarah Keita. We'll go Sarah Keita's.
That's what does she reckon?
So, she has number 1, Morgan Rowe.
Solid.
So, that is fair enough. Do you want me to say?
What does she say? What does she say?
So Morgan says, I'm rooting for my teammate here. Aha, he is such a driven rider and spends so much hours on the water and never seems to get enough. Does he hold the record for most Aloha wins in the men?
I think he does.
He posted some ridiculous rides online in the wintertime. I want to see him get another title. Well, oh, man.
He's a solid shout, man. He's solid shout. 100%, and he's keen. Like I said, if you watch Send It Sunday or you follow him on YouTube, you'll notice that he has been the guy out there in the Kona wins. And when you look who's on the water, there's not that many of them out there. So he is obviously fired up. He's keen. I remember listening to an interview. Actually just speaking to him, he was just so motivated. And when you see him in Pozo, he's one of the Maui guys. Burnt is one of the Maui guys who is capable, but never goes to Pozo, never puts himself out there in, let's say, unfamiliar territory. Morgan has been one of those guys who over the years has working his way, and you see him on Port Tack now. He's pushing super hard. He's going for the doubles, going for all the stuff, and he's putting the work in. That will pay off. I know this is a Starboard Tack event, but I'm just saying the drive, he's got it. So, I definitely wouldn't count out another victory for Morgan.
In number 2, okay, as a surprise, Antoine Martin. I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's obviously rips, but that's just he's going for a slightly different angle than JC. She says, so apparently it will not be textbook Maui conditions.
No.
And someone that thrives in chaos and non-perfect conditions as Antoine. He has won the Aloha several times and is one of the riders that always keeps you guessing with what he's going to do next. He doesn't hold back in competition and brings his free sailing to the heats. That's interesting insight from Sarah there. So
I agree. Totally agree with what she said. And I've had him in my final, I think, for the Aloha, because when he's on, he's very difficult to you can't have a heat against him and know what he's going to do. Pretty much Sarah says that there. You don't know what he's going to do because he doesn't know what he's going to do. And he goes for it. He doesn't hold back. If he sees a section, he's not going, oh, I'm going to take this easy. He goes flat out. He pushes to the limit. So if he's on and he's making, he's very difficult to beat because no one's going to beat him because no one's hitting it as crazy as that. Most people have got their competition head on, but he kind of approaches it differently, which I like. But the problem with that is if it's going wrong, it goes wrong badly. And then, he doesn't make the final. So interesting. I think he's definitely one to watch. I mean, he's won the Aloha Classic before.
Interesting that he wears a helmet all the time now, which is probably a good thing because he's absolutely goes for it.
Well, since he chopped his ear off, he did that in Kanaha.
For sure. But just in general, I've noticed the helmet thing, it's becoming more common in the surfing world and I think in the windsurf world as well. So
I think helmets are becoming more comfortable. I've seen a few of these like soft shell helmets, which, I think when you get used to wearing them, it's not that bad. I took one out with a with a DJI kind of GoPro style camera the other day because I'm trying to get back into the helmet cam. Pretty interesting. You forget it's on.
Yeah, that's what you want. I wear a surf cap often just because the sun's it's pretty harsh
off your head,
but he's bouncing off my head. But I bought one of those inserts from Amazon. It's just like this little shell, and you stick it in your existing surf hat. You seen that?
No.
Oh, all right, I'll show you later. It's pretty cool. It's just this thin kind of plastic with a little bit of foam in it, and it'll literally it retrofits into any surf cap. It just slots in, and you put it on. You wouldn't even really know. It just looks like a cap. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, actually, here Anton Payne. We both wear the same one. Hello, Anton. Be kind to me. Don't give me too much abuse.
Is that the world champion?
It is. That's the Wave Rally world champ. It is, mate. You should see him. He struts around Geraldine. His chest all puffed out.
Struts.
He's all... People coming up to me, you Anton Payne? He's like a local celebrity. Yeah,
hang on.
Huh?
No, yeah, I can imagine. Sorry. I was oh, dear. I've got some funny images in my head. Does he even speak to you anymore?
Oh, he does, but he's a bit arrogant. It's just... No, it's cool. But he took down some ex-PWA slalom races. He's fast.
Yeah, no, he's quick.
Well done, Anton. Well done.
Oh, hang on. Oh, Pete. We've got to give Pete a shout out because he's the first guy to leave some predictions.
Pete. All right, let's go, Pete. Number 1, Nero. I hope he is light. So, yeah, this is interesting because Pete actually said just before, I was going to get onto it. He said if it's light breeze, I would say it's an advantage to the lighter riders, which is usually the case. So with that in mind, he's got Nero at number 1, Brown in 2, 3 Pare, 4 Costa.
Wow.
Ooh, but Costa, I guess Costa's lightened up a bit. If it's windy, if it's windy, he's got 1 Costa, 2 Pare, 3 Brown, and 3 Rodiger. Okay. Interesting. And then we have Thomas Stibor, 1 Rodiger, 2nd Costa, 3 Pare, and 4 Browns. There's a bit of love to Costa there.
German love coming in, bit of sausage.
All right, back to the magazine. So then Sarah Keezer in 3rd. Oh, here we go.
Margie's is massive, isn't it? I'm just looking at that picture of Takuma Suzuki. Margie's, he doesn't do it justice sometimes, how big it is. It is such a big old...
It's not just big, but look at the amount of water as well.
Minging. I can't think of anything worse than that.
Look at it. You sort of see how it's sort of A-framing. That's the other thing too. An A-frame, so it just condenses all that power as well. It's crazy. Takuma Suzuki, well, this is someone that is obviously an absolute shredder, but not someone that you always think of being in the top 4 for some reason. Sarah Keita says, I love Takuma, multi-talented across disciplines and sends it in any type of conditions. It seems like he's been on tour for a long time, but he's only 21. That's insane.
What? Is he only 21? He has been on tour forever. I guess he was so young when he first started.
Holy shit.
My God. Yeah,
That's nuts.
Yeah,
That's nuts. Oh, my God. And he's only going from strength to strength. It's been awesome to see his dedication and his unique style. He can make it to the top. Man, at 21, I was smoking doobies and oh man, it's just.
To be fair, at 21, I learned to forward loop. 22, I learned to forward loop. That was my. I was late. Like I was super late to the bloody party. Nowadays, if you're not looping by like 10, it's like, you're old. You're old.
My God, look at that wave.
Oh, that's ridiculous, isn't it? That is absolutely freaking Margie's, man. I know I've said this before, but I can always remember the first hit I had at Margie's, and I'd just come from Corro's, which was kind of tickling me. And I came up like a daydream. I was like, do, 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 and it went boom. And I got absolutely cracked. I went into an involuntary forward loop and I just got smashed on the surgeon's table. I was like, oh my God, dude. Okay, this has got a different hit.
Yeah, no, people get injured there too. It's pretty serious. Rasmus, 1 brown, 2 Naro, 3 Paré. So, okay, so that's pretty much JC's prediction, but in a different order. All right, so now wild card. Okay, Marsilio obviously is not a wild card. He's riding her keeper. It's unlike anyone else, powerful and clean. Then there's Mark Band, Victor Swifty, and Camille. All right, so I'll put Marsilio as the 4th place for Sarah Keita. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the men. Are we going to go back to because now it goes on to the women. Are we doing our men, or are we just going to do this first?
You say since it's the spring, we should see a more windy keeper, and therefore I think there will be more room for some tricks on the waves. That's the interesting bit. It might be a trick show, and that will, I think, determine the difference maker.
Yeah, except it's not actually that windier. Or maybe it will be windy. But...
again, this is the difficulty we've got. I don't actually know how that's translating that forecast. I've been trying to get some intel.
Yeah, well, it's true. You never know there, do you? I find that it's up and down. Could be anything. But the forecast is showing on the lighter side, so I guess we'll see. Well, do you want to work? Should we go on to the women for their predictions, and then we'll go on to us? Is that how we'll do this, Benny?
Yeah.
All right. So now we're off to the women, back to JC. So the women's competition is equally a tough equation to unravel. The level is so high right now that there is no easy heats, no easy paths, and definitely no guarantees. Throw in experienced Maui specialists like Angela Cochran, who's been around since the 90s, probably earlier, and you've got a proper battle on your hands from round 1. Okay. Oh, now this is interesting. Maureen Hunter. Now, I would have Maureen in my list because when I was in Maui last time, I was incredibly impressed with her go for an attitude. She was a standout as far as going for it. So anyway, JC has Maureen Hunter in number 1 with Sarah Keita sitting this one out. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So Sarah, what's happening?
That's the first. Oh my God, that is the first I heard about it as well.
Oh, this throws a spanner in the works, doesn't it? So hold on, I'm just having a look at the.
Is that because they got a baby?
I guess so. Oh well, That would be the guess, right? Yeah, she's not in the list. So I'm just having a look at the.
I honestly didn't know. That sounds terrible.
The heat draw.
Oh yeah, we're really on the pulse, aren't we?
Well, this is why we do this podcast, Rennie, just to learn everything we need to know. But okay, so Sarah Keita, for anyone who doesn't know, but has had a baby last month or two, and so we're assuming that she's got her hands full with that. So wishing Sarah Keita all the best for that one. So with Sarah Keita sitting this one out, we have picked our last year's winner, Marine Hunter, to make it back-to-back victories. Marine is an absolute charger, committed, aggressive, and seemingly unaware that the backing off is even an option. If she sticks her moves, they go hard or go home style could once again take her all the way. That's a cool photo. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. She's hardcore. She is hardcore, and she's been living in Maui, hasn't she? She's kind of made that her home now. So I think this is the difference maker. And she's, I think she's won in Silt before when it was down the line. She loves down the line. She's not afraid to smack it. Obviously, like JC kind of alluded to there, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong because she doesn't hold back. She pushes. But from what I saw last year, she had one of the most aggressive styles, and it really stands out, I think, in terms of judging. She's not, she's pushing so much off the top. She's hitting aerials. I think that's a good shout.
Yeah. I met her. She works, well, I'm not sure if she still does. I assume she does. But when I was in Maui, she was working at the Goya Quattro shop. And it was awesome to meet her. She's a super nice person as well. So good luck to Marine Hunter. Okay, second. Ooh, Lena Erpenstein. So here we go. Last year just wasn't Lena's year. Injury recovery, tricky conditions, the works. Luck did not flow her way. Fast forward to 2026, and she should be fully fit, fully motivated, and very ready to make up for lost time. Lena thrives at hole keeper and isn't afraid to take on heavy sections. If she's back to her best, a top finish looks more than likely. Lena Erpenstein. Okay, JC's onto it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Muck around. Let me have a look. Lena Erpenstein. She's starting to become a doctor. Is that true, Betty?
Yeah. No, but she's also an absolute ripper. I've always had her in my. I just think she's got a very powerful style. I think it's like in tennis. You see some tennis players, they're very finesse. And then you have the Williams sisters who come in and they're just like yeah, and they don't look different. Like the style looks like the men, and the Earp and Hunter's a bit like that. They're very aggressive. They're not, they're not like dainty and trying to fit. They're just like full on power.
Not like us.
That. Not exactly. Not like us. Exactly. It's honestly very impressive to watch. Like and I think that's a good shout again. A good shout.
I think JC, he's got this. I'm a bit worried that JC's predictions are a bit too good at the moment.
He's been on it in the past. He's been on it in the past.
JC, we should start turning this into a betting thing. Make it really interesting, shouldn't we? We'll put some money on I'm actually just started like this new website, and I'm thinking maybe betting is the way to go. Maybe
that's how I'm going to fund the whole thing. That's it.
Yeah.
Wait a sec, George, if you're listening, he's my web guy from Greece. Maybe we should look into betting, windsurfing betting. That's how we bring the people.
I think it's a good idea.
365.
We can breed a whole new generation of gambling addicts. I like it. That's good.
I'm in it. Maybe just for fun.
That's the secret. You imagine it ends up just being the main sponsor of the whole tour.
Alcohol and gambling.
And
beer money. Oh, well, I've got the beer money already. Then we just got to bring the gambling. Then we just totally losing it.
Some weed and vapes. All right. So now we have number 3, Maria Andres. Maria loves Maui, and it shows in her sailing. After a winter in Australia, getting plenty of port tack action. She's been back on Maui recently, getting redialed on starboard. Expect her to come in sharp, focused, and fully in attack mode.
She's been in Australia, has she? She's been over
here. Oh, yeah, mate. She's been hanging out here.
Okay.
Getting plenty of action, port tack action. So no, she's been traveling all up and down the coast. So she's loving it. Actually, it was her first time in Australia, so she was having a good time. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed. Like Maria's one of those sailors. She just travels around the world. Works hard with the social media stuff and all. Anything else that she's involved in, and she basically just wants to windsurf all the time. It's pretty inspiring, actually. She just makes it work somehow. So good on to Maria. And she's got him third. Now the wild card, Sol de Greek. Well, okay. Sol is progressing at a scary rate. How old is Sol now? She's 16 or 17?
She's probably still 12 because every time we speak about it, she never gets older. But yeah, 16, I think. 16.
That's nuts. She already feels like she's almost like a veteran already just with the amount of times we see her name. But Sol is progressing.
Just think, in 5 years, she's only going to be 21. Oh my God.
And how old are we going to be? Like 53, 54.
Yeah, 53. Oh my God.
Jesus, Benny, let's not think about it. Sol is progressing at a scary rate. After last year's Aloha Classic, it felt like she just needed a bit more time and a ho-ho keeper to really click with wave selection and timing. She's fearless when it's big, and if she finds her rhythm early, she could absolutely shake things up. Rumor has it that Dita van der Eycken might be in her corner this trip, so don't be surprised if she levels up quickly. Oh, okay. Now she's got Dita van der Eycken there helping her. So, yeah, Sol, she's the future of female windsurfing, isn't she?
Look at that push loop tweak from 16-year-old. That's pretty savage. I mean, I know she didn't land that one actually, but still, look at that. That is ridiculous.
It is. She's amazing. Keep an eye on. These are the outside chances. Pauline Katz.
He's mentioning everybody. Maria Barron.
Lisa Vermeister, Maria Barron, Sarah Jackson, Coco for Vo, all more than capable of causing a few upsets. Okay, all right. Now, Sarah Keita's predictions in the females. Now, if somebody is going to know what the females are up to, you'd think it would be Sarah Keita. So let's see what she has to say. The top 3 women below all seem to thrive in bigger waves, and that's why I have chosen them. That's a good point. Obviously, we're starting in bigger waves, and the waves will sort of go down. So the waves thing will come into, I guess. So number 1, okay, Maureen Hunter. So also, we're going with Maureen. Is it Maureen? Yeah, Maureen's how I pronounce it, isn't it?
You're asking the wrong guy. I'm absolutely butchering
Maureen Hunter. My top pick for the event is Maureen Hunter. She stands out in big waves and is one of the women that gets out there even when it's scary. Having spent much more time in Maui since last year, I feel like she knows the break the best at the moment. She has a no-fear attitude and knows what she needs to win her heats.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's 2 thumbs up for Maureen. So, I
might make it a 3rd.
Yeah, I know. She's pretty good. Okay. Oh, no, so this is Lisa this time. So number 2, Sarah Keita has Lisa Vermeister. She really impressed me in her keeper the last 2 contests. She is low-key, extremely driven. I noticed last year how focused she is on stepping up her game, and it showed in her sailing and especially her heat tactics. Oh, okay. So we have Lisa Vermeister in number 2. So I'm going to write that down. I'll be honest, I haven't seen these ladies sail in a while, so it's quite hard for me to make a judgment. But
me too.
Lisa, yeah, I guess we're about to find out in this comp. Number 3, Coco for Vo. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, there should be some big names coming up for the contest, and no one loves those more than Coco. I'm happy to see her back on the starting list, and if it does get big, she should be the one to watch, as she doesn't thrive in those conditions. I think you should say she does thrive in those conditions, isn't it? Yeah. I think that's what it's meant to say. Obviously, Coco dating Morgan Moreau. So also, there's Morgan Moreau, hopefully giving her some good tips.
I wonder where you were going there, but it's true. Interestingly, I got contacted by her media, an media agent or something like that. So she, we did feature her on the podcast a bit ago, talking about her social media posts. She wasn't sure which way to go, and since then she's got, like I say, like some sort of management system who's saying, look, if you want an interview, organize it through me. And so I was like, wow, okay. So she means business. She really does.
Yeah, she takes it pretty seriously. I think she's really tries her best to make a go of it in the windsurf world. So good on her. Cool. So that is Coco, and then the wild cards. Okay, because we want a fourth here. But of course, I know the top 3 ranks. Sol, Lena, Pauline will be right up there with the competition experience. Because she has listed Sol as her first one, I'm just going to go with Sol as number 4 for Sarah Keita. Sorry to Lena and Pauline, but that's how I'll do it. So, all right. So we have gotten through with JC, John Carter, and Sarah Keita. So what do you think? Should we have a look at the actual draw?
Yeah, let's have a look at the draw.
Start going through how all that works. Just bear with me as I pull that page up. Get out of this one. Here we go. Okay. So we might need to explain to everyone, because we did have a brief look at this yesterday, Benny, and we were surprised with the amount of people in the heats. Actually, just a quick overview. So there's a women's division, obviously, and there is, there's a challenger heat, and then the hold on a second, let me just have a look. Yeah, there's a challenger heat, actually, and then depending on what placing they get will end up in the redemptions and so forth. And I'm just trying to work out this though. There's a challenger heat. So
one challenger heat, heat.
Yeah, but then the seeding.
Then we got the first round.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Yeah. So basically, if you come 3rd or 4th in the 3rd from our seeding heat 1. Hold on a second, Benny.
Go to the seeding. To the seeding. Right. So there you go. These are the first round of the main competition, and the challenges will fit into this. So.
Sorry. That's where I was missing it. Okay. Sorry. So the challenges are fitting into these heats here. Yeah. So anyway, so we have the women's heats. So we can, heat 1, Maria Andres, Angela Cochran, Pauline Katz, Nasuki Wakasa. Is that how I pronounce it? That's actually a tough heat. Because they're all good sailors. Heat 2, Maria Behrens, Sybil Bode, Lena Erpenstein, and then the first from Challenger round 1. Heat 1, Sybil's, I know her a bit because she spends a fair bit of time in Western Australia, so interesting to see how she goes. Heat 3, Maureen Hunter, Svenja Chidoba, Lisa Vermeister, Julia Mayer. Obviously, Maureen being a favourite with quite a few of the tipsters out there. Heat 4, Coco Vavo, Sarah Kenyon, Sol de Greek, and second challenger. This one will be an interesting one as well, because obviously Coco, Sol are great sailors. Sarah Kenyon is an up-and-coming female windsurfer from Geraldton, where I live, and she's improving every time she goes sailing. Hasn't done a lot of starboard tack sailing, but she rips in port tack, so it'll be interesting to see how she goes. She's pretty fearless, so if in bigger waves, she will, she won't mind. In the men, so it's interesting. In the women, there's 19 athletes. In the men, there's 47. That's a lot, isn't it, for the pro men? In the masters,
shall we? Yeah, I was just going to say, should we just finish the women? I reckon we look through the draw now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Good to go through it. So, because obviously you're trying to pick 2 from the bottom and 2 from the top that's going to make your final. So we've seen JC's and Sarah Keita's. Who's going to be your picks to get through those heats?
Yep. Let me just quickly write this down. Okay, so we've got... so we're going to do a prediction of just getting through the heats, and then we're going to give our top 4 as well, huh? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we can just have a look through it now because otherwise there's a lot of weird rounding. I think we just got to try and pick our 4 from this rounding.
Yeah.
I've had just looking at the heats just straight up. I think they look pretty solid. You know what I mean? They're not crazy. I think the seeding is done a good job there of sorting those out. I reckon I could make a prediction.
Yeah, what your prediction of what, the challenges or
top 4?
Oh, the top 4. But hold on a second, before we get there, just quickly. So in this challenge of round 1, it's the top 2 that make it through to the seeding round.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know any of these sailors. Sarah Jackson, I do, but the other ones I don't. Actually, Colette Guadagnino, that'll be an interesting one. That's the sister.
I think she's solid. I would probably put Colette and Sarah Jackson maybe through. Sarah Jackson, it's really interesting. She's seeing her wave sail. It's come on leaps and bounds. And actually, she's got because you've got used to slalom jibing. This might sound crazy. If you want to improve your bottom turn, go learn to jibe a slalom board. It really does help because the drive and how much you push through the initial part of the bottom turn. So I'm gonna go out there and say Colette Guadagnino and Sarah Jackson are going to get through that.
Well, I was going to say the same thing because Dione, as we all know, is a world-class sailor, and I've spoken to Dione a few times, and he often talks about his sister and how much she rips, and she just hasn't gone to any comps. So now I'm curious to see.
Whoa! Hang on, she has been world champion. You know that?
Oh right, I didn't know that.
Back in the day.
She was, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there was some period of time in windsurfing where I wasn't paying attention all the time because I was just working so much. But okay, what year was that?
Early 2000s, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Was it early or late 90s? Late 90s.
Oh, really? Late 90s. Okay.
I'd have to check. Yeah. I think this wasn't freestyle. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure she was world champ.
What, in freestyle and or wave, or you're not sure?
I'll have to double check everything.
I'll have to check that out. Okay, I'll have to ask Dione now. But anyway, I'm with you though. Colette, Sarah Jackson moving through, although I really don't know the other sailors, so apologies to them. So how do you want to play this, Benny? You want to go through work out what the top 4 is?
Yeah, I think so. Otherwise, we would be like 5 hours going through everything.
All right, you tell me, mate.
So I'm looking at. I'm going to pick 2 from the top. So heat 1 and heat 2, and 2 from 3 and 4, because I don't think the bottom can meet the top. So my definite top 4 in no particular order at the moment would be Erpenstein, Pauline Katz, Marine Hunter, and Sol de Greek.
Okay, so let me just write this down. So what was who thinks first again?
Order. Okay, that's the bit I haven't worked out yet. I'm going to go with, you know what? I want to say Hunter, but everyone's gone for Hunter. But there's a reason. I'm going to say, I want to say Hunter, but I'm going to say Erpenstein.
Okay, so
Erpenstein, Sol de Greek, Hunter, and Pauline Katz.
So leader, Sol de Greek. Who was third?
Hunter in third.
Oh, Hunter, yeah. And Pauline. I'm just writing this down, Benny. Okay. Let's say that is.
I've just tried to mix it up a little bit. I could see Sol. Yeah, there's a few reasons for that, but I'm not going to go delve too much into it because I think there's a lot of riders that can make the final, and we know what Maui's like. If there's jumping, I know starboard tack is not particularly Erpenstein's favorite, but I just think her competition experience, she's just switched on. I think that's gonna, I think Erpenstein, for sure. Okay, I'm done it. Yeah, that's it. Sticking. Stick
Okay,
it.
good,
Final answer.
good. Nice. I'm just doing my one.
Can I just say, just before we go anywhere, there is a lot of heats to get through. My God, I'm just looking.
It's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 heats in the women.
That's just
the women.
Yeah,
wow.
I know. How are they going to get through everything in 3 days?
I don't know. In 3 days, that seems crazy, but good luck.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting to see. All right, so where are we? Now I have to make a choice. So I've already chosen. Yeah, okay. So Lisa, sorry, I'm just having a look to see. Marine Hunter. Okay, so I need someone from there. Lena. Okay. I'm going to. Okay, I'm going Marine Hunter first, Lena Erpenstein in second, Solder Greek in third, and Pauline Katz in fourth. That's what I'm doing. So we've got actually all the same people, you and I, Benny, except we've just got it in a slightly different order.
Hey, that's all right. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I think Angela Cochran. Oh gosh, she's a dark horse actually. Did she come? What did she come last year? Did she come second or third?
She was up there, yeah. Didn't she win?
God damn it! Maybe I should put Angela Cochran. She came second, didn't she?
I'm rooting for the young girls. Younger.
Yeah.
The old ones have had their day. They've had their day.
All right. Well, that is the women. Anything else to add to there before we move on?
No, I mean conditions are gonna change things. So that's what it is. Well, I think you just got to stick your neck out, put it in. But obviously, if the wind's in, it's jumping and it changes everything, especially in the men as well. So there we go. That's it. We just got to put some names down.
All right. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Okay, let's go. Now we go over to the men's 47 athletes. This is where it gets interesting because Benny and I had a look at this yesterday and we clicked on it. We're like, holy shit, how many people are in a heat? There we go.
7.
Heat 1. So this is
7. In that first heat, there's 7.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So they obviously need
that. Yeah. I did judging once for the British Cup.
How are they going to do that?
Like 6 or 7 guys, 5 guys, maybe 6 guys. It was almost impossible because one guy's on a wave and you just basically get a feel. It's really difficult. So, I mean, maybe it's different in Maui, but if you add jumping in as well, this could be an absolute hard one to. Anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's going to be. You're right. How are they going to judge? It's hard enough judging 4 people. So, but the way this works is there's 2. Well, actually, there's 3 challenger rounds. So we've got.
If you zoom out, it's kind of easier. I don't know how you're looking at it, but I'm looking at it on a different screen on my laptop, and it's much easier to scroll through.
Okay,
you probably can't read. Just to show people how it looks.
Yeah,
you can zoom individual heats. Yeah, there we go. So it's like these the challenger heats is basically like a qualifier for the main event. That's kind of what it is, the challenger heats. So they're basically, I think, looking at this like, look, 7 people in a heat is not ideal, but if we don't put that many people in a heat, then we have to say people can't join. So will it be the fairest judging? No. But they're confident that they will be able to pick the right guys. I guess that's what it is. And if they don't allow them in, then they wouldn't have a chance anyway. So we'll have to see how it is. Name some big names that's in that challenger heats, because we're not going to go through everyone because some of them we won't have heard of as well. But I would say big names.
Francisco Goya's a big name.
Yeah, for sure.
Graham Ezzy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Youth world champion. We got Javi Esprabano.
Oh, hold on a second. Champion. I was telling you that Jason Pryor's not in there, but he is there because that's his mystery name, isn't it? Jason Papa Nicolau?
I have no clue.
I'm pretty sure that's Jason Pryor.
Okay, cool.
That's cool. I like him. I mean, look, again, apologies to these sailors, but there are quite a few sailors that I'm not aware of. Zedinek, actually, he's a very good sailor.
Yeah, Nash guy.
On the Nash
We've got Jaden Tiger from Jericoacoa, or from Brazil. At least spent a lot of time in Jerry. It'd be interesting. He's a good jumper and good rider. That might be really interesting. He was one of the guys, like when I first started commentating, and Leon Dunkerbeck was Shrunkerbeck, real small, and him and Jaden were the two Severn boys, starboard boys, going head to head, like when they were like 12 years old or 11 years old or something. And he was kind of tipped to be like the next big thing. And then he kind of never really followed it. Obviously very good on starboard tack. But again, maybe this is his time to shine, because he's got some skills.
Yeah. So
Ferraro in there.
Sammy. Oh yeah, Samuel was in there too. Yeah. Okay. So basically, just for everyone, only 3 sailors out of these 3 heats can actually get through to the round 1 seeding round. And you have to get in the top 3 of each of these heats to progress. So if you come 4th or lower, you're kicked out. So, and basically you can work it out for yourselves, but there's a few other heats. And then once they've worked out who first, second, third is in that round 3 final challenger, then they get placed into the seat, into these this round here. So just quickly, if you had to pick 3, since who would it be out of this list? Who are you going to choose?
Ezzy.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say Jaden Tiger. Again, if it's a little bit more onshore, I think he's going to be quite an interesting one. Obviously not used to massive waves or anything, but he could be definitely one to watch. I think you've got Goya in there, Zednak. Not easy, is it? Not easy. A lot of the guys a lot of the guys that I would look at are in that heat 3 as well. So it'd be coming through the sort of challenger reportage round might be an interesting one.
Yeah, this is unfortunately there's so many names here I don't know. I'll go Ezzy.
My problem, I don't know how good they are at starboard tack in Maui. I know if we were in Pozo right now, there's some standout names, Greg Staphopoulos from Greece, like solid on port tack, but I'm not quite sure on how his starboard tack is. Samuel Ferrero. There's quite a few Maui locally guys in there as well. I'm going to stick my neck out, not stick my neck out, but Graham Ezzy, I think, is going to get there. I think Jaden Tiger could cause an upset. And then in terms of competition, Zedenek's actually been sailing good. Strathopolis, I know how good he is, but Maui, how good is he? I'm going to go Francisco Goya. The old man's going to come and take out all the young kids, because there's a lot of young kids in there, which a few of them, I'm not sure how they've progressed over the last years. And, they do progress super quick. So there's going to be a few guys there. It can be difficult to.
And plus he's a sponsor of the channel, so you kind of have to as well.
Okay. Yeah. You got the t-shirt on, so I'm in.
I still want to get discounts on gear, so we're going to definitely put Cisco in there. I reckon I was going to go Cisco, Ezzy, and my head says Zednek. My heart will go Jason Papa Nicolau, a.k.a. Jason Pryor.
Okay.
So anyway, so that's that. So then we move on to, all right, now each of these heats could almost be a semi or a final, the way they're stacked. This is.
I think are we going to go? We're not going to go through each heat individually, because there's too many. There's too many redemption rounds, and there's 2 redemption rounds. How are they
going to get through all this?
I have no clue. I think that's not our job to work out. But to me, it seems a bit of an ask. If you've got masters, juniors, and this and the women, in 3 days.
They got 3 days, dude.
Oh my God, I don't see how it's possible, but fair play if they can do it. I mean, amazing. Have they got live stream?
Well, yeah, actually, that's the other thing too. So the live stream this year, they used a company last time, or in the Aloha to run it. Now the live stream is going to be run in-house. So they bought equipment to run it, and supposedly they're on top of it. So, but the question is, are we getting live stream every day? I actually don't know. Do you know?
It's only 3 days, so you'd hope so. But maybe they don't do the first day, but that might be the best day.
Yeah, exactly. So
but they own the live stream now. So in theory, why wouldn't you? If you own it, what you're going to want to do it the most, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because I think the problems were last time they didn't own it and they have to pay, which they still have to pay. Obviously, people working for them, but in theory, I guess we would have live stream every day. Be interested to see the quality and who they've got, running the show, because it's not as easy sometimes as you think, especially when stuff goes wrong. When it goes well and you've got good internet, yeah. But as soon as it goes wrong, that's when you really realize you need people in place.
I've just messaged Simeon from WWT. Is there a live stream every day at Maui? So hopefully he will respond quickly and we have an answer to that.
What time is it in Maui?
No, he's actually, he didn't go to Maui. He's in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, he's responding. I can see texting going on. Anyway, while I'm waiting for a response there.
Let's pick 4 finalists. Let's just pick 4 finalists.
Because
it's impossible. It's 2 redemption rounds. I think that's going to be pretty tricky to understand. So I think we've just got to have a look at the top half of the draw. 1, 2, My understanding is the top half can't go down to the bottom half. So picking 2 from the top 4 heats and 2 from the bottom 4 heats.
Okay. All right, mate. Well, you start, Bernie. What do you reckon?
Oh, hello.
I can go first. I don't mind.
Okay. No, I don't mind. Okay. Top 4 heats.
Oh, hold on. Before you go, I've got an answer from Simeon. They have a permit for 3 days and they're broadcasting live for all 3 days.
Okay. Well, no, that's the beauty of owning your own live stream.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Simeon, for that quick response. All right. So back to the top 4. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with Brown, Antoine Martin from the top half. And I'm going to go. Oh, my God. Oh, my life. I am kind of counting on some jumping. I'm going to go.
Oh, yeah. Light winds, though, don't they?
Well, let's see. I'm going Paré. Not going to be easy down that bottom end, but I'm going Paré.
Jesus.
And then now it's a difference between Bernd Rodiger and Morgan Nareau.
Oh, God.
And I'm going to go. Oh, this is going to be controversial. And it's going to come back to bite me because I actually think he's one of the best guys. I just think. Oh, no,
Ross Perot?
No, because it's between Bernd Rodiger and Morgan Nareau, and you're like, I think I got to put Morgan in there.
All right. Well, that's
pretty hard to count out Rodiger because Rodiger's when he's on,
counting him out.
Yeah, that's terrible. But I think someone's got to do it. I'm counting him out. He's out, man. I'm going. I think he's actually got not a bad draw. Actually, his heat is not easy. But actually, that run is actually not bad. I think. I'm going to go.
All right. So here we go. Who's first?
I mean, I know Mark has not been in Maui much recently, and the conditions he's had, he hasn't been good. And so how much Maui time has he had? Could I leave Paré out and put Morgan Nareau and Bernd Rodiger in? When it's your teammate, it's really difficult to leave him out and world champion. I'm going to go Paré. So, yeah, I'm going to go Morgan Nareau.
Morgan first, huh?
Hang on.
Oh.
Okay, sorry about this. So, I've got in the final, I am going Brown to win it.
Oh, okay.
Morgan second.
Morgan. Oh, okay.
Paré third. Antoine Martin fourth.
Oh,
I could mix that around a bit. I don't know. Because if it's jumping, I think Paré beats Morgan.
It's too late. It's locked in now, Benny.
Yay.
What is it, Benny? Is that what it is or not? We can change it.
Brown.
What is it, Benny?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm going bollocks. I'm sticking with my Simmer teammate. Paré second. Paré second. Morgan third. They could be any way round, but that's what I'm going with.
Okay, mate. Hold on. Now I have to just fix all this. All right, so Benny Prophet, Marsilio Brown first, second Mark Paré, third Morgan Rowe, fourth Antoine Martin.
Yeah, that's
so Marsilio, Mark, Morgan, kind of almost, you got three of the same guys as JC have got, and three of the same people that Sarah Keita has.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. All right. Now I'll give it a go. I put Bant as number one, just because every time he goes out there.
I can see that. I'm kind of having to go a little bit out of it, otherwise it's going to get boring. So I always put Burnt in the final, and this time I'm
boring.
I'm thinking that record player he's got is going to get in the way this time.
He just looks so comfortable out there. There's a lot of winds. He's really good with float and ride stuff as well.
I think he's going to have a mare.
Oh, really? You think he's going to go down?
I think there's going to be a tricky heat, and he's going to have one off heat, and it's going to be. He doesn't fuck up. He's so the guy. It's hard not to put him in a final because every time I watch, I'm like, he stands out, and it's rare he doesn't make a final. So it's a bit stupid of me not to put him in the final. But that's at some point you've got to make a call.
So you just like to be different, don't you, Benny? Yes.
Yeah.
So there's lots of names here that we just discard.
I'm thinking. I'm sorry. I'm also thinking it's a bit more onshore, maybe, but it might not be. But maybe that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a jump. My head is saying there's going to be a jump, but maybe it's not going to be a jump.
No, I know what's going on. It's these messages with Ezzy, isn't he? He's giving you some insider knowledge. What did he tell you?
He told me nothing.
Oh. He said
there's been no sailing. There's been no sailing. I'm kind of looking. I'm looking at the videos of Morgan putting the work in, out in the Kona winds, hungry. It's a 5-star event. Remember, this is for the world title. This makes a big difference, which is kind of why I've gone with those guys to throw it down. Whether that comes true, who knows?
Pretty stacked year with events this year, isn't it? Okay, so the thing is, here we are talking about certain people, and we just discard, like Kai Lenny. It's just like Kai Lenny doesn't even get brought up. What the hell?
Well, this is my point. Lenny. It's very difficult
Robbie
to go
Swift.
Let's just go through, like JC mentioned a few other people. It's impossible, but look at Bernd Rodiger's first heat. Rodiger, Takuma Sugi, Levi, and also gets the first challenger from the final of the heat. So he could have Ezzy. No, but it could be Ezzy in there as well.
That heat is so gnarly.
And then the problem you've got here is if you don't make it through this heat, it's not that bad. You will go heat 5. Let's say you don't make it through this heat. Heat 5 goes to where?
Heat 5.
Second from heat 5 goes to heat 3. So, they stay in the bottom. And then third from heat 5 goes to heat 3. Yeah, so it can move around very quickly. Again, there's so many people to mention. Thomas Traversa. I nearly had him in because I think he could be kind of danger. Kamiju Ban. I mean, hard to count against him. You got the Japanese crew, and they all got rippers. We've got obviously Robbie Swift, tried and tested. Liam Dunkerbeck's had some good results. Like you say, Kai Lenny, he is hungry. Didn't he say, I am never coming back to the event again or something like this after last time? He had a run-in with Antoine Martin. So this was there was a big spat on the beach, and them two apparently were shouting at each other. And Kai Lenny kind of lost his cool, I heard, which is easy to do with Anton Martin sometimes, even though he's always a happy bloke.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if they meet each other in a heat.
Victor Fernandez, I mean, just so consistent. If it's slightly, more cross-shore, Victor, everyone always counts him out, and he'll be so dangerous. He's just so consistent and smooth. Put in a jump, starboard tack. He is, again, these are the guys. I'm counting on a jump. If there's no jump, I think Burnt goes into the final. But I think if it's a jump, you've got to have the doublers, the people who do doubles, and that's Mark, that's Brown. Obviously, Costa, someone mentioned it earlier, could be dangerous. He's never had a good result in Maui, but he's due. I say it every year. And what do they say? Even a broken clock is right every so often, or once, twice a day.
I think this is what might be throw a spanner in the works is this forecast Benny. I don't know how accurate this is. I've just looked up Maui North Shore. So please, somebody tell me if there's a better location here. But the reason I mention this is because Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's showing 21, 22 knots. They could be stronger, whatever. But
that's
Friday,
what I mean. I think the first 2 days are windy.
Yeah, but so the finals, you got to ask yourself if the wind is.
Hang on. Why is the finals going to be Friday?
Well, it's 3 day.
But the finals for me are going to be Thursday, because the juniors and the masters and all that, if there's 3 days, they need a day to run that. And I think they'll prioritize the pro women.
That's a good point. I just assumed they were just going to leave it towards the end, but you're reckon they're going to smash it out.
No. I think you got to just go. They're going to have to go hard today, which is later today, and then hard tomorrow. They got to. Otherwise, they ain't going to make it.
Yeah, no, sure. I just assumed it'd be Friday. Okay, well that changes things, because I was going to say if the finals are happening in 17 knots onshore, then that probably favors certain sailors.
The only thing that I will say is, and this has been criticized over the years, is the single and the double elimination. Now, if they were doing a single elimination now, they would run it quicker. There would be less heats to do, and they would have a champion much quicker. But it's not as easy if you make a mistake. Well, it's not as easy. You can't make a mistake in a single, and so there's no comeback or anything. You lose, you're out, which is horrible when you're a competitor. But in terms of getting a result, it's a quicker way to get a result. So this, we're going to see if there is this flaw in this dingle type elimination, because if you look at that, there's 2 redemption rounds. I mean, Christ,
man, I want to see how they get through all these heats.
Exactly. If you didn't have a redemption round here, you were going to lose. You're going to get rid of 8 heats. Are you? Wow. You're going to get rid of 8 heats if there's no redemption round, if you have a single. So in terms of getting a result, you're going to get a result. And the whole idea of a competition is get a winner. As a competitor, don't get me wrong, this is good. But if they don't finish because the conditions or something happens, or they don't get to the juniors, they don't get to the masters, maybe you're going to find juniors and masters don't enter. Like these are all things that I know, I would hate to organize an event. It's really easy for me to sit here and say, oh, this is this. It's impossible to keep everyone happy. There's usually only 1 happy or 2 happy people, the winners. Everyone else has got some story to tell. So I don't know. Really interesting for us to see how this plays out with such a small window. If it was 5 days, I'd kind of feel like, it feels relaxed. But 3 days feels just wow. That's, the county, if that's what's given them the license, being stingy, and Jesus crikey.
I'm just going through the list here, trying to make my own. This is tricky. Oh my God, but I'm going to, okay. So
if it's windy, I think also you can get carried away. If it's windy and it is more like a Euro event where you can do, jump in and ride it and it's windy, you could do like a 12 to 14 minute heat, maybe. If it's not windy and it's float and ride, it gets very hard to do those shorter heats. You really don't get much chance if it's light. And that really makes a huge difference to how many heats you get in. But again, when you organize an event, you don't know what you're going to get. So again, that's it. That's just how it goes.
So just to double check here, definitely the first 4 heats. Like there's definitely potentially two out of here and 2 out of the bottom 4 will be the
That's
final.
what I've gone
Is
for.
it?
I don't think they shouldn't, in theory, be able to swap over, because you should have the top ranked guy at the top and the second ranked guy at the bottom, the third ranked guy at the bottom, and then the fourth ranked guy at the top, and that kind of keeps going all the way through the draw. So the current like tour leader shouldn't be able to meet the guy in second before the final. But with all these reportage rounds, I'm not actually sure how it works. Can it swap over? I don't think so. It shouldn't be able to. So I've picked 2 from the top and 2 from the bottom. Have you picked yours yet?
I picked 3. Like okay. I'm just looking at this bottom. See, the tricky part here, I've got to pick 2 out of these last 4 heats. I mean, the ones that stand out, Bant, Levi, although I put Bant over Levi just from previous events. But anyway, Bant, Morgan, well, Robbie Swift, he did really well. He got in the final at the Loa.
Yeah. And if it's jumping, he did really well in the Maui Pro, I think. He was in the final of the Maui Pro, wasn't he? Didn't he podium?
Can't remember. And then obviously Mark Perret and Kai Lenny. I mean, Kai Lenny.
Yeah.
Shit, he could win the whole thing with in the right.
But that's how it goes.
I know that's how it goes. So I've just got to pick 2. I picked Bant as 1 just because of his previous results, and now I'm going to have to pick one more person out of, well, Kai Lenny, Mark Perret, Robbie Swift, Morgan is the ones that I've sort of
go crazy. Don't let the crowd choose you.
Oh yeah, no, it's Morgan, Robbie, Mark, Kai. God, I have to go with Morgan. I mean, it's just he's how can you go?
Who's your top 4?
Crazy.
All
right, top 4. Shit, yeah, Burns, Marsilio 2nd, Morgan 3rd, Antoine 4th.
No,
I actually,
Oh, you had Antoine, did you? Okay.
Yeah, because I have to pick 2 out of the top 4 heats, right?
Yeah.
I actually might. What I'm going to do. Sorry, I'm going to put Morgan in 2nd and Marsilio in 3rd.
Ooh, that Goya sponsorship's going downhill.
Yeah. Well, bad more. Sorry, Marsilio number 1, Antoine number 2. That's,
Oh, come on! What's the order? You've got your two Goya boys in 3rd and 4th.
Yes,
Is that
Bant's,
right?
I've got Bant in 1, 2nd Morgan, 3rd Marsilio, 4th Antoine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. That's hold on, let me think. That's 3 of the same of what JC have. He's got Mark Perret. I mean, Mark Perret, I'd love to have in there too. It's just unfortunately
you got to guess. We don't know.
God damn it, Mark Perret. How can I not have a list of Mark Perret in it? That just seems criminal.
It's Maui. It's not really been his standout event, but last year with the jumping, that was the difference. With the jumping, this will be the difference. If there's no jumping, I would change my picks a little bit, but I think I'm hoping there will be a jump, because that's the whole idea for doing this Maui comp in spring, is to have it a bit different to the Aloha Classic, which usually means more cross shore, which means jumping. But let's
that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't really factor that in, because
sorry, it's just locked in, mate. It's locked in.
But hold on, so we're not sure. So basically, are we saying that
nobody knows?
No, but what we're saying is it's either because Bant, I don't really know how good he is at jumping there.
He can jump. But
they can all
jump. But when you put the double in, this is the difference, because I've seen this over the years of Peter Bear. If you're not doing a double and it's one jump, you're giving away a couple of points already. But then Bant, when you see his waves, they're high. So it will still benefit the way. You got to remember, last year's Maui Pro was windy. They were like flying around. I think it was 2 jumps maybe and 2 waves. And then it was, for me, you're going to see the best jumpers push through, the double guys. That's why I think Swift was there. Paré was obviously there in 2nd, and Brown won it in 1st. But again, there's a few more people there for this one because it's a 5-star. There's full World Cup points. This will be a really interesting. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to start later as well. So make sure you all guys get tuned in because there's live stream every day. We've just heard. We've also got the Masters and the Juniors, which by the sounds of it, they will be live stream. I hope they get to go. I just hope there's enough time to fit everyone in. That's what I would be kind of worried about.
Oh, there we go. So let's just have a quick look here. So what was the end result? This is last year's one.
Yeah.
Okay. So last year, Marsilio, Mark Perret, Takara Ishii, and Robbie Swift.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. It's just throwing a sparrow in the works for me now.
Oh, come on.
Because if they're jumping, like that's the thing. It's two different. It's like two different events then, isn't it?
Well, that's the beauty of the competition.
I know the band. Yeah, I know. I wish I knew if they were jumping or not.
Well, same here.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Marsilio now is actually because he's so good all rounder. You just think,
oh, hello. Are you changing your
that's
mind?
Where
get off that fence.
I see you've covered your bases, but Marsilio is number 1.
What do you mean covered my bases?
You did. If it's jumping or wave riding, how can you not put Marsilio up there?
Oh, you haven't, so.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I feel stupid.
Well,
31 last year.
I don't think there's an easy way to determine what's going to happen. We don't know. We don't know the conditions. We've got a rough idea that something's going to happen. But it's exciting. Are you looking forward to it?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is back into some comps again. It's been a little while, hasn't it? So
yeah, it feels like the build-up hasn't been crazy for this. This is a 5-star. I don't think people have quite got their head around this yet. 5-star. This is the opener. This is like the big one where you lay it down for the world title. Really interesting. I mean, we have had some other news which kind of caught me a little bit on the side. The Pozo event this year is in theory not a PWA event.
Yeah. Tell us about it. What's the story?
Well, I'm not. Someone messaged me, and I was like, "Well, what does that mean?" And I don't think it changes too much. But as far as I understand it, the PWA have been the main guys. You know, the PWA and the IWT, which is now the WWT. It's a very confusing. We're going to try and do a podcast and get a couple of the guys to explain it to us because I'm one of the main commentators for the PWA over the last, I don't know how long, and I'm confused. But I'm not quite sure how it works, but there is 2 organizations, the WWT and the PWA, and they've kind of joined together. And obviously this whole thing has changed a few things. Rich Page, who was the tour manager of PWA, he has also gone, and there's a new person come in. But the bit I don't get is, in theory, it's together. So the Pozo event was PWA, but now it's WWT. And I'm like, I said, well, what does that mean? And apparently it means the same. So I was like, okay, so why has it changed? What's the difference? So there's a few questions, which I'll be honest, I need to ask because I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think it changes anything because it's still a 5-star event as far as I understand it. It just means, well, I don't know what it means. I'll be honest. I don't know what it means. Again, I in the winter, people, I'm not Mr. PWA. I'm not Mr. WW2. I'm not anything. I am just a commentator on the side. So they employ me to commentate, and it feels like you're part of it because you've been so into it. But I am not a member of any of these committees. I'm not a member of anything. I stay away from all of it because I just don't. I've heard about the inner workings, and it's just not for me. It would drive me absolutely mad. So I'm doing my own thing on the side, Windsurfing TV, and they employ me to commentate. And so sometimes, yes, I have some inside scoop. I have some inside knowledge. I hear a bit of chat. I hear, some of the juicy, gory details, whatever you want to call them, behind the scenes. But I'm not part of it. I am genuinely not involved. I cannot stand long emails and writing to people, and it'll drive me mental. So that's how I am. And again, this whole Maui event, I've not been involved in anything. I am like a viewer like you guys at home. Obviously, I have some inside knowledge on certain things, and I speak to inside the riders and this type of stuff. But apart from that, It's nothing to do with me. But what I do know is this is a 5-star event and it counts for maximum points. And that's huge. That means there's probably going to be 2 events this year in Maui. So that will definitely suit the Maui riders, you would think. Marsilio Brown will be thinking, well, this is good. Last year, would it have made a difference to the tour? I think it would have, because Brown won it and Pare was second. I haven't done the maths, but I would imagine that would mean that Brown would have been the world champion if this event last year had have been it. But it also means it's definitely biased towards the guys that are good in Maui. But what is it also cool? It's good for us because we get to see another competition. And in theory, this early Maui event is a jumping event as well, which usually the lower classic isn't because of the way the winds are. Will we get jumping? We don't know. This is all the stuff we will find out as we come on, but interesting.
And since we are obviously talking about the waves, it might be I could quickly just run through the upcoming tour for anybody who hasn't had a chance to have a look at this. It's sort of interesting, but interesting tour. There's a few new spots, or it's probably the best rounded wave tour we've had in quite a while, in different sort of spots. Obviously, it remains to be seen how all this plays out, as you said, with all this WWT, PWA sort of politics behind the scenes. I'll just read out what it says here. So the 2026 season spans 10 World Tour events across 5 continents. The best 4 results from any 1 to 5-star event count towards the world ranking. The best 3 from 1 to 4-star events count toward regional ranking. So, yes, if anyone who doesn't know, to become the world champ, you need, your best 4 results from any 1 to 5-star event. Basically, you need to go to the 5-star events because you get maximum points for those. But either way, just your 4 best results count towards the world ranking. The Fiji Cloudbreak 4-star sits at event 3 of 10. So Fiji happened 4 years ago.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Your best 4 results. Maui, Germany. And there's 6 5-star events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so you can discard 2. Wow.
Yeah, well, I guess.
But that could be a problem because then, I'm not sure I like that discards. I think it should just be, well, maybe.
You mean it'd be a problem because you could get equal, like 2 people could get points, or
yeah.
I couldn't tell you the maths.
Yeah, okay. Having 2 discards is interesting. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Unless they're counting on maybe one of them not happening, because I have heard rumors.
Yeah, okay. But so there's 10 events, and 1, 2, 4 of them are 4-star, and 6 of them are 5-star. We had the Margaret River event that was run by Jager Stone. That was a 4-star event. Now we're on to the Maui Pro, which is a 5-star for the first time. It was 4-star last year.
Yeah.
And then we have the Fiji event is back. 4-star.
So who's going to do that? 4 stars.
Well,
so not full points, very expensive, but you get the chance. Is this going to be like a little bit of a who's got the money? Because to sail Fiji, there'll be a few people out there who might not be in world title contention, but think, you know what? I want to sail Cloudbreak. I want to have it to myself and a trip to Fiji to go surfing as well. This could be almost like a glory event for a few people. It'll be interesting to see what big names turn up to that, because that's an expensive trip when you've got the whole tour to do. And it's a bit of a luxury trip, let's say. Luxury, that's what I meant, a luxury event. So it would be interesting to see who turns up for that. That is interesting. 4 stars, Fiji, okay.
I haven't got the breakdown of the point sitch, but maybe top of your head. But with a 4-star, you get, as far as I understand, 60% of what the value of you would get if
I
you
think
won
it was
a
like
five-star.
it was like getting a win was like getting a fifth, wasn't it, or something like that?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Yeah. So that gives you, but it will be interesting. Fiji, not super easy to get to for a lot of people. Bit easier for the guys in Maui. It's not super far away.
Yeah.
But it is Port Tac. And
interesting, really interesting. I think there might be a few masters coming out of retirement to get themselves in on that event. You got to have some money to do it, but it's not often you'd be able to get to sell Cloudbreak and some of the footage and some of the stuff you'd get from that. I'd be interested to see that, the entry list.
And I actually spoke to Simon the other day, and he's we've basically agreed to that I can join in. So I'm.
Oh,
sick. Yeah. So I'll all going well, I'll be there to do the drone filming of it.
Wow.
Obviously, hopefully. I don't get excited until the drone lands at the end, because then I know I've done my job. You never know what's going to happen.
No, but that would be epic. That would be so good.
Yeah, hopefully. So the thing that's
do you know the entry price? I know last year it was nearly €2,000 to enter.
So this year, so what they did, I don't know the full details, but last time there was the entry, there was accommodation, there was the boats. So basically, Simeon did this package thing, which ended up being quite expensive for a lot of the sailors. But at the same time, it's very expensive to do what Simeon did, because he organized everything. He chipped in a fair bit of his own money to make it happen. This year, I'm under the understanding that you just get the entry fee, but the accommodation and the boats and all that stuff is up to the sailors. Basically,
really?
Because it's just that way you can create the entry fee at a much lower.
But is there an option to have it if you wanted it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not sure. Oh, look, I'm sure if you contact, like there's a hotel that we stayed at last time. I'm sure if you contact that hotel, there's probably some deal for the sailors. But I think rather than Simeon saying I'll organize everything for everyone, it's just, it's kind of more a case of there's the entry fee, and if you want to stay here, these are the deals.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's my limited understanding of it. Yeah, and the thing was with the boat situation was a bit of a bone of contention with some sailors last time, because there was basically some sailors found a cheaper option, but they were locked into a certain boat company because that was the whole deal. There was a deal done. So maybe some sailors can save some money by.
The thing is with this sort of thing, because I've had a similar type of dealings with Cape Town, for example. I used to, rent a big house and then sublet rooms. I would rent it for 4 months, so I get a good deal, and then I'd sort of set a price for if you were coming for a month, for a day, a week, or whatever. And I heard rumors that you get one guy coming and they're happy to pay. They haven't had to sort anything out. They're paying, and then when they're there, they find another deal. Yeah, and you're like, and they go, hey, but I could pay this here, and you're like, well, okay, but you didn't do that before you came. So the hassle that I have to go through to do all that, and this is the difference. Like, you might find riders like, yeah, that's great, and then now they're like, oh my god, who do we contact? Who, then it starts to get a bit stressful. But when everything's sorted for you, and then you find another deal, not quite the same. So it will be interesting how that goes down in the end, how it works out for people, because sometimes it's really easy to complain, but when you have to do it yourself, it's a whole different ball game. So let's see.
Yeah. Also, just before we move on, I'll just quickly. This is a funny little thing. Sorry, just bear with me. I'm just bringing this up. But for when I was there last time, this is Cloudbreak in the background, and this is a judging tower that the surfers used for the
looks
WSL. Yeah, well, there was a cyclone that came through and basically knocked it all down. And like when the windsurf event happened, there was actually only one stump remaining, just one. And
so they've put it up a little bit now.
And no, this was an older photo, right? So what happened was that Jace Panabianco from Poor Boys Productions, that made the windsurf movies and 1 and 2 and amongst other things, He literally strapped himself, like they dropped him off in a boat. He strapped himself to this pole in, 20, 25 knots of wind blowing off here, getting sprayed with water with a waterproof camera and was strapped there for 6 hours. Like literally there was nothing there except like they literally taped him to the pole. So those images that you see at Cloudbreak where there's a camera angle looking directly at the wave is basically him strapped there like an absolute legend, just copying it. Like, yeah, insane. So anyway, that was crazy, but now they've rebuilt it.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. They've rebuilt the tower. So this is obviously looking the other way because there's land in the background. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, Cloudbreak is like a 30, 40-minute boat ride off the land. It literally sits,
Hang on a minute. So that's what they're able to use this year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
sick. Yeah. So this is part of the reason why I also decided to go, because last time I was filming from a boat and it sounds fun. Oh yeah, you're on a boat.
No, it's not fun.
I'm telling you, it was almost the end of it. It was hardcore. It was like yeah. So
and the sea isn't flat, is it? Let's be honest.
Oh no, the boat just constantly rocks around, especially when it's windy. But this is cool because if I zoom in here, you can see.
Wow, that is epic, man.
Yeah, you can see here they've got the camera guys up here, a couple of drone guys are up here. They've got their communications, and the judges can sit up here as well. Although I'm not sure.
For anyone who's listening, like on Spotify or like on Apple Podcasts or just audio only, it's basically a 3-story tower. Like it's got 3 different levels, and shade, and I mean it looks proper. It looks. Yeah. I'd stay there.
That's probably where we'll end up staying. This is actually the accommodation. We just have to like roll a mattress out. Actually, that would be super cool. Although
they leave it like that. This is mentioned it. Do they remove it after the event?
No.
So the base tower or everything stays.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the banners go, and you're just left with a shell where it's just the wood structure. But no, so this, this is not an easy thing for them to build. We're talking Fiji here. They're not like, they don't have structures like this where they live. Like this, they live in mud huts, half of them. So they, but this, and also I don't know the ins and outs of where it's at, but in Fiji, it's interesting because there's a lot of politics around the waves. They're basically owned by the village. So like Cloudbreak is essentially owned by the local village, which will be like in the background, you see the land. It'll be somewhere in there. But they also then basically own the structure. So I think the WSL paid to get it made, but the village owns it, and they basically decide who can and cannot use it. They don't. It's not just like you can just turn up and just use it. That you need permission from the village, and also you need permission from the village to run an event. Like if they basically say no, well that's it. You're not pulling up there in some boats and just doing it, because then you'll have like 120 kilo Fijians turning up on boats threatening to rip your head off, basically. Like they're pretty gnarly. Like, but they're cool though, because once you're on their side, they love you. Like I think they've been pretty. The guys who run a lot of the stuff, they like the windsurfers because they've been good to deal with generally. There's been there's been a bit of friction with some of the surfing elements because that's for various reasons. Anyway, that's just a bit of background to the Fiji event. I'll just quickly finish off with the rest of the tour since we are talking about all that. Sorry, just bear with me as I get back there. I've lost the screen. Here it is. Then we have the Gran Canaria event, which, as you mentioned, it's gone from a PWA to WWT. Not 100% sure what that means. But we'll get into that. I mean, at the end of the day, they're both ranked. Like it's supposed to be a combined tour, right? So we need to do some podcasts in the future to clarify all this, because I think that if you and I are confused, what do you think the general public are? It's So
or does it even matter to the public? Does it matter? I guess.
Well, I reckon a lot of people watching this, they're probably a bit like us. They're pretty into it, so I think they probably are. Then we got Tenerife, 5-star. France. Actually, this is the France Wissant. I don't know if I'm familiar with this spot. What's the deal here, Benny?
Wissant is very famous spot. It's basically just across the channel from the UK. It's on that small bit near Wimereux or somewhere like that. Dover, near Dover. I mean, Calais, sorry. That bit of France, right at the top end, right where we're just touching the UK. It's where Jules Denel is from, Arthur Rootkin. There's a few guys coming from there, and there's some top level sailing, and the sailing looks super fun. A lot of the guys from Holland, Belgium drive down there when the forecast is on. So it's a really cool wave spot, and I've seen they've been pushing a little bit. Jules Denel, I think he's got his centre in Wissant now, which has been kind of
is it starboard tack or
port tack usually? I mean, it can be anything because it's that type end of the world, but like a normal southwest wind will be port tack.
Okay, interesting. And then we have Silt, which is just an absolute mainstay on the tour. United Kingdom,
which I'm guessing is a Tyree Wave Classic, I would guess.
Well, that's cool though. That's been elevated to a 4-star, isn't it?
Yeah, that's.
I'd
like to know what the levels are, what you have to provide for it to be a 4-star. There was talk of certain prize money. There was talk of you had to have live stream. I can't remember the exact conditions that have to be met to be a 4-star, but it'd be interesting to clarify that as well for anyone else wanting to turn their event into one.
Yeah, there is a document, I believe, that outlines all that. I've seen one before. It's probably not up to date, but it goes through all the standards you need to cover to get to certain star levels. So then the Aloha Classic and Chile is now the final, whereas traditionally the Aloha Classic was. So it's a pretty solid year with events. It's going to keep us pretty busy, isn't it? God.
Considering we're probably in the I don't know, the worst era for being a professional windsurfer in terms of payment from brands. I would say most people, if not everyone, will be on their worst deals at the moment that they've probably ever been on. And the tour is looking the most stacked and busy around the world. So hopefully that two things change, moving forward. So hopefully they produce more, because it needs to be outside sponsors coming in, or windsurfing would need to take a massive jump. But we've talked about lots of this stuff on the podcast before, but there's so much more competition out there now in terms of other sports which are taking a percentage of market share when it comes to when you spend your free time, windsurfing, winging, kiting, surfing, family, whatever. So the money would have to come from the outside. I can only see that. If you've ever watched any of those Stab Mag videos about how surfers earn their money and stuff, they're really interesting, actually. And there's interviews with most of the surfers, and most of them don't make their money from the surfboard brands themselves. Some of them did when they went more commercial, but most of them just use it as a tool to be able to get to a level in the world where they can make money from outside. That's pretty much it. Well, clothing sponsors have usually been the big payers in the past, Billabong, Quicksilvers, that type of stuff, Volcom. But then I think as we've moved forward, a lot of those brands have lost a bit of traction as well, because clothing just gets made everywhere now, and less people are super involved with having a massive name on their top, even though they're still making money. I think there was definitely a heyday for that sort of stuff. Wetsuits is another, good sponsor to have. But in terms of surfboard brands, I don't think it's as much as people think. Like, some of them were basically saying some of the top guys in the world don't get paid by their surfboard brands, which is always crazy to me.
And that's where it is tricky for windsurfers, isn't it? Because you're trying to find brands that can get excited by windsurfing. It's
very, very difficult. Very difficult. But obviously windsurfing is there's a monster amount of kit you buy. especially in racing and this sort of stuff. But you've got to be selling the numbers, because the percentage, I saw some of the percentage from some of the brands at how much they pay the riders, percentage wise to how much they bring in, and compared to any other industry, we are quite heavily stacked up in percentage wise to how much is given to riders. But that's kind of how the sport is, because if you haven't got riders and you haven't got promotion that way, what you actually got, not a lot else. So it should be stacked, and you can't judge it to traditional, business, I don't think. But it's interesting. There's definitely some big changes going on at the moment.
What do you reckon with this tour? If you look at it from 1 to 10, when was the last time that you saw a wave tour that looked anything like this?
Yeah, it's pretty epic, I got to say.
But
if you forget how much money you need to do it, it's pretty epic. Yeah. I mean,
but when was the last time though? Like, if you had to think back.
I seem to remember there was one of the years that I missed where it had Cape Verde, it had Brazil. Was that 2007? 2007?
Okay, so we're talking, what are we? 2026, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. I think what's changed, you've got to remember what's changed that recently is the standards have changed. There was a long time on the PWA where you had to have this much prize money, you had to have this much stuff to get to a 5-star, and those figures have drastically been cut recently, which has now opened the door for different things. And then the 4-star events, again, I don't know the exact details, but I'm pretty sure if you provide good media and stuff, you might be able to boost your event up to a 4-star as well. So those are the things that have changed more recently to make this happen. And I think there's definitely been a good move with the star system. I think that's been a long time coming. And for whatever reasons, before it wasn't able to be, because it wasn't perfectly aligned. And I think more recently, the powers that be, the joining of the two things, they've just gone, you know what, we're just going to do it. And yes, it's not going to be perfect, but we're just going to do it. And I think that's been a massive change, which has worked out great. And it really, and again, sometimes you just got to deal with the problems that you create rather than trying to fix them all before you do it, which is not ideal. I know that, but sometimes to force change, those things have to happen.
Bit of a chicken and the egg kind of example, but it's interesting to where we're at right now, because I'm a windsurfer like just about everyone else that's listening to this, and I've just been doing my thing, and obviously I've started getting more involved behind the scenes in the last 3, 4, 5 years. And Ben, you've been doing this for a lot longer than I have. But when I kind of entered this realm that now I'm in, where I'm talking with you on a podcast, I basically have entered the windsurf scene as this changeover has happened from purely PWA events that had a high standard with certain standards that had to be met. Now we're in a zone where, as you said, they've had to lower some standards just to get the events sort of happening again. So it's interesting to see this progression and the era that we're in.
I think from the outside looking in, it's amazing. It's amazing. I have a feeling, and again, I can't speak for everyone, and I haven't spoke to everyone, but I have a feeling, racers as well, there'll be an underlying angst that the money they're getting is not enough to do to be able to do this. And again, it's like you said it perfectly, it's chicken and egg. You've got to have this tour to be visually to the outside industry,
to sponsors,
that you've got a tour, you've got this big thing,
you got something.
So it is really difficult, and I can see the way they're trying to do it at the moment. Create it and they will come. That's the idea. The problem is for the guys that are trying to bust their balls to do it all, it's going to be tough.
They got to pay the money.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Going to be very tough.
Yeah. No, well, it's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out. But it's.
You ever seen that thing like where you can sponsor a dolphin or sponsor a whale or something like that? I did think about putting this on the website where you can basically sponsor a rider, and I just have the list, and then each rider you can bid to get a sale. So it's kind of like a sponsorship creation.
Oh, mate, that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, it'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? Like you could basically bid, and there's a cutoff date that whoever's got the bid gets the sticker, and you can have certain sizes. I thought it'd be quite cool.
It's not just a name. You could have just, you could put your business up there or whatever, right? I mean,
it could be for everything. It could be for the tour, could be for a tour stop, because it's kind of, I think sometimes it's so behind the scenes that not many people know that for this amount of money, you could actually get your sticker on a sale.
I like that. I like that idea, Benny. But who would run that?
Me.
Is that
No, I don't know, but I did actually think I've talked about it a long time ago now, and it keeps coming back into my head that on Windsurfing TV, I was going to do it with certain riders, but in an ideal world, you just have the list of riders,
exactly,
and then you can go into their profile,
it's all automated,
and you see all the different levels, and you can put a cheeky bid in. Maybe you put like 500 quid, and you go, maybe there's a minimum, a minimum bid. And you can go, you know what? I want my name on this guy's sale. And again, you might not win it. You might not be. The minimum price might be too much for you. But let's say some of the lower down riders, they might take 200 euros to put a sticker. It sounds daft, but it's all money. It's all
for
money.
Sure. Yeah, and it's also like betting on. It's like it almost feels like having a syndicate in a horse or something.
Exactly, you've got vested interest. Exactly.
Yeah. Benny, I love that idea. I think you should. I think you should do it, mate. That's
George.
Genius.
If you're watching, we're gonna have to go for it.
Yeah. No, that's I like that. I mean, but these are all the sort of things that will just help build the interest in the sport and also help fund the sales, because I think that's obviously where a lot of the attention behind the scenes is being put into, is what they can do to help the sailors, to help build them up somehow, financially. But that's, that's kind of like the crowdfunding model or something. Why not? Yeah. I've said it to some sailors before who haven't been able to afford to get to events. I said, I just crowdfund it. But for some reason, there's a lack of, like, a lot of sailors just think, I wouldn't want to do that because they feel like it's begging or something. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like, if there's people out there that probably have a few bucks to spare, they don't mind.
They don't know. They don't know how to do it. I'm going to do it. In fact, I'll make the decision now. I'm going to have a word with my web guy. If you haven't signed up to Windsurfing TV website, sign up, by the way, and link your beer money, because we've got some giveaways coming up on that website. I'm just, doing it. But what I'll do is I'll set it up. Let's say I'll just set it up for me as a one person, and then I just open it up to the other guys.
Oh, so we sponsor you?
No, but they can sign me, whatever, just a person. So then basically, once that model is set up for a person, you can, as a rider, as a World Tour rider, you can just add your name in, sign up to it to be a part of this list of people. And then it will obviously be organized by rankings or I guess you can organize it however you want. And then you just have a wetsuit. You could have all the bits where you can put your sticker on the nose of the board, on the butt of the board.
Is it just once? Is it one sponsor per sailor?
No, I personally, because I had this vision of me doing it ages ago, where you basically have a outline of the sail, you have an outline of the board, top and bottom. You have your wetsuit, like your picture, and then you basically have strategic places which are all worth a minimum of certain amount of money, and then you would place your bid. Maybe some riders, the rider can choose their minimum.
The rider chooses it.
Price, and you can sponsor them for a year. You could sponsor them for a couple of years. You could sponsor them for an event. You can sponsor them however you want.
And you set this up and take a 60% cut and they get 40%. Is that how it works?
No, an 80-90% cut.
I see where this is going.
That's the whole idea of it. Is it would be a bit of work to put together, and it's also a bit of hassle to navigate it all. But I think it's quite a cool app in a sense to actually have worldwide for lots of different sports. I talked about it ages ago with someone about setting it up, and then I just decided in the end the amount of effort and hassle, it wouldn't be worth it. I'll just end up. It sounds like a cool idea, which it is, but it's a lot of work.
Well, the way it'll work is you'll end up with 100 sailors get $1,000 each, but you'll get 100,000 at the end of the year, and you'll be like by far the biggest sponsored sailor. So
yeah, but that's the whole idea. If you set it up I'm being serious. It goes with the whole house in Cape Town. As soon as you set something up, you're the one who gets the shit, and you're like, hang on a minute.
I know, Benny. I'm only kidding, mate. Like, if you can make it work, you deserve it, Benny. Don't worry.
No, but but in this day and age, you're better just to not do anything. You're better just to go, fuck it. It's the same with, because you're like, by the time you do it, you'll be the one getting the shit. Oh, it's like event organizers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, tell me about
organizers, it's a lot of work. You spend years and years to get your event to a place where it's like, oh, it's wow. And then you take some money back because you put all this work in for years and years. And then everyone's going, oh, look at him. He's getting all the money. You're like, hang on. The guy's been working to get this event to, like, it's basically just the way the world is.
Hey, Benny, look here. Steve, the windsurfer, I would be interested.
I know there is people out there that don't know who or how they could sponsor someone. And if they could go to a website and just see, oh, Coco Favreau, oh, Morgan Nero, oh, Mark Paré, oh, freaking hell, for some of the top guys, it might be, for a couple of grand, I can have this. And then for the smaller guys, it might be literally 500 euros, 200 euros, or whatever it might be. And then these guys who have these small businesses, for that, they need to get pictures or video or something that they can use to do a bit of promotion for that. I think it's a cool way to do it.
Set it up, Benny. It's good. It's got Miguel. Was it Miguel B. Martin? Maybe a crazy idea, but what about having teams instead of individuals competing with each other? So teams could be the ones interested in making it possible. I think the team idea is super cool. It's just how would it work? How would it work?
Well, that's the problem. It doesn't work so well in windsurfing because it's quite an individual sport, and you'd have to have team sailing, whereas you could have a woman and a man as a team and a junior, where you would, you can always have teams. It depends how what you want from the team.
Well, the obvious one with teams is the brands. You become a team. That'd be the obvious one.
But that's kind of how it is, isn't it? But I think someone's saying, okay, they want Team Brazil or Team, place, or they stay in the house together. There's lots of ideas when you look into it. And I think sometimes it's just getting it out to the public that this is even possible and it's easy to do. Because I think the friction to entry is the biggest problem. Okay, I want to support this guy. I've got to message him. I've got to organize it. There's no, the riders are not all on the same page. If it's all explained, easy, I think sometimes you can be like, late night, had a few beers. You're like, well, hey, I'm going to sponsor Coco Favreau. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's quite funny.
No, but I think that's be interesting if you could get that up and running. Maybe there's a way of doing it that's not overly complicated. I think that's the trick with this sort of stuff, isn't it? It's not doing it so it's too complicated. Otherwise, you just get bogged down and all.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we have a full year, and geez, Benny, if we're going to comment or create content, we don't really need to do any other podcasts except just comment on wave events. The slalom tour is similar, is it, than the last year?
I don't know. I just get the feeling there's a bit. I could be totally wrong. I feel like there's a bit of negativity around the racing at the moment. I don't know. I just feel like some of the brands have put money into other things. It's quite interesting. So I don't know. We have to see how that plays out. Obviously, North's a big player in the racing stuff, but I think. Let's talk about that on a separate podcast. I have messaged to the North guys to try and get them on the podcast. I spoke to Geordie Vonk, who's just become the co-owner of the centre in Tenerife. We're going to get him on the podcast as well. Spoke to him. Monty Spindler is still on the hook, but we've got the Maui Pro coming up this week. That's what we're focusing on. And then after that, we are going to go into a normal podcast. So massive thanks to everyone tuning in.
Thank you, guys. Yeah,
awesome. We're looking forward to it. Who's going to get the predictions right? Remember, put your predictions in the comments.
Are we going to be doing updates after each day or towards
Let's see
the
how
end?
it plays out. Let's see how it plays out.
All right, watch this space, guys. Watch this space. Benny and I will be watching closely. If there's something that exciting or something to talk about, we will. I mean, we'll definitely be doing a follow-up after the final, at least.
Also, remember to sign up to this podcast channel. You're obviously watching Windsurfing TV podcast channel, or mine and Paul podcast channel, I should say. So most of this stuff will be on this podcast channel if it's this type of stuff. If it's maybe some shorter videos, maybe some reaction stuff, it could be on Windsurfing TV. But you can go to windsurfing.tv website, and all the videos are just in a big timeline, easy to spot. So it's actually... I'm trying to make that a bit of a hub at the moment. That's the plan, because I'm going onto YouTube and I'm seeing so much other random shit. I get sidetracked. So I genuinely think the website's coming back. That's why I'm pushing a little bit with the website at the moment.
The website's looking good, actually. I've been checking it. I've actually been using it more now for some reason. I don't know why, but I actually use it more.
I know why. Because everything is auto-updating. So as soon as it's on, it's there.
It's actually better than YouTube, because the problem is you go to YouTube, you can't see what's going on. You go on your website and you see exactly what's come up in the last 24 hours, one week, whatever. I
haven't asked him to say that. I'm glad you said that, because that's how I've kind of been feeling with it. I know everyone's not quite in that sort of use of, they don't click on the website, but I think it's changing the brain. But if you want windsurfing content, I'll just explain to you roughly how it works. I add YouTube channels to the website, and then as soon as they release a video on YouTube, it just comes up into the windsurfing timeline, and it's just in date order.
Look, we're live.
This is also a new feature that my man George has put.
Look. Now we're inside. So this is like Inception. It's getting spooky, because now we're
inside.
It's inside. And it'll just keep. Oh, look at this! If we just stay here long enough, it'll just keep. But look at this! It keeps going.
Wow, that is spooky.
That's freaky.
No, so George has added this thing now. When any of the channels go live, it automatically uses the main player on the site to put the live video on there. And now the memberships are all linked in. So now if you leave a comment and you're a member, you get beer monies next to your name. So if you go to any of the competitions there and you see people have commented, you get like little beer monies next to your name. So now all the members, for me, when I'm handing out prizes, it's much easier. We're going to be doing some giveaways, sales and booms and this type of stuff. I've got quite a lot of plans going forward, but it's pretty cool, man. It's working out good.
Well done to George and yourself for doing this. But what I was talking about, for anyone who doesn't know, the reason I'm actually using this website more, and I'm not just saying this to suck up to Benny here, it's because I've actually been thinking, what's the latest in the windsurf world in videos? I go onto the website, you scroll down, and because, as Ben said, it's automated straight away. That's video with Geordie Vonk, which I actually saw, but it all just automatically comes up there, all the ones that I guess that you've plugged into the back end, which might, I'm assuming there's probably some that get missing, I guess. But.
So the idea is I add the channels which I think are producing the best videos, but if you want to add an individual video, you can also suggest it at home. So if you go to the top of the page where it says suggest video, so let's say you're a YouTube, go down a bit, below there, where it says suggest video. If you click on that, suggest video, and then you can just put in the
Nothing's happening.
Oh my God, George. Oh
my God. Is it because, I don't know, maybe
because it's like that. That doesn't make sense. Usually,
who knows?
Are you on Chrome, out of interest?
I'm on Chrome, yeah.
Works for me.
Oh.
Have you accepted did you accept the...
I did. Yeah, maybe it's got something to do with the fact that I'm sharing and I'm live, and maybe it's all freaking out. I'll check it when I get off.
No, but when I click it, it just comes up with the YouTube URL, and you can. So if you just got a one-off video you've made, or you see a video you like, you can just go on the website and suggest that video to us, and then I can have a look at it, and if I like it, I'll add it, and then you get that. See that community tab? That's basically one that's been suggested. So you get
that?
on the next chapter, when it says the video down from the one you're looking at. Yeah, there at the top right, that blue little thing on this thumbnail, purple.
Oh, hold on.
You're missing it. Go back. Back to the thumbnail of the Geordie video.
Oh, sorry, here. This one?
No, the Geordie video.
Yeah,
see where it says see where it says community. That means it's been suggested, and I've accepted it.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, because it's TW. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
because
it's TWS.
Yeah. The other thing that I like, and I think if you go here, where you go iconic videos, and you've done a date thing where you've gone through classic videos from the past. I was actually wanting to make some suggestions. There's some really good ones from the 80s that are missing from here. But anyway, it goes back to
literally, I just added these. I pretty much went through your YouTube channel, added some stuff. I haven't totally got it. But if you are got an iconic video and you know where it is on YouTube, if you go up to, again, the top of that and you click suggest video, you can suggest an iconic video as well.
So it worked now. It worked. Yeah. It works for me. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. Exactly. And then you just put in the URL, and then I'll have a look at it and see if it makes the cut.
Yeah. No. So, anyway, well done, Benny. That's an excellent website.
Well, George, we've been
George
together. George, we're going to get George. We'll get George on the podcast. We'll do a little bit of a.
What's George's surname?
Oh, good question. Levantis.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. It'll be interesting to hear from George one day, mate.
George.
All right, guys.
All right.
Well, we're probably we're only hours away, or 12 hours, maybe something like that, maybe less, away from the first heats of the Maui Pro-Am. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see how we go with this list. I have the list. It's all written here, Benny. We'll see what happens.
Let's see. All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. We'll speak to you soon.
It's that time of the week again. Sit back, relax, we got the brain of band. No need to stress in the house, it's Van Bellen. The game is windsurfing, you can't yell them or tell them. We get the news, the views, the win biz. The brand's gear tips plus the world's best quiz. The Cubs, PWA. We're professionals without the pay. There's nothing in pole dancing that we won't chat. From tandem boards to a windsurfing cat. It's your one-stop shop for a laugh and listen. Tune in each week or you'll be doing the missing.